If they do that, they're going to be very, 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 very tough to beat.
Wilson! Oh! And we are tied!
Let's go! Call them by Slamma.
And I don't ever let them forget where we come from.
Getting those phones out. Report me acting ignorant.
Dayon Kris got his way through, and he may go! Kris is in! Houston leads out of nowhere!
Seventh heaven for Houston. The Cougars advance to their seventh Final Four.
Go Cougs! Let's go! It's so good! The dream remains alive for the Houston Cougars!
Welcome into another episode of Let's Rage Coogs, presented by the Saxenian Family, a secondary sponsor of Sharp Pizza, on this Tuesday night, following Houston's very dominating and convincing victory over the West Virginia Mountaineers. 77-48, your Houston Cougars come out on top, 7th-ranked Houston Cougars in all of college basketball, and they certainly looked the part, if not better, in this game against West Virginia. You know, it's kind of hard to go with how impressive the Cougars were from this last Saturday's game against Baylor, but you know what? I thought today's performance was much more impressive, which is hard to top what they did, but I feel like they did it in tonight's outing, and arguably a tougher team in West Virginia, at least when it comes to the resume so far this season, what they were able to do against Kansas, who turned around and dominated Iowa State tonight. So, you know, once Kris joins us, he'll reiterate how he loves Big 12 basketball. But before we get into this matchup, joining me, Dayon Dunlap. How are you doing, sir, on this Tuesday night?
Man, I'm doing well. Very impressive wins. 3 consecutive games with really, really good defense. And I think it seems like this team is really like finding itself and gearing into shape defensively as the months pass and the games pass.
Right on cue, I have a tweet, I should say, from Joseph Duarte of the Houston Chronicle, who just posted West Virginia head coach Ross Hodge. The quote is, "That was a good old-fashioned tail whipping by the Houston Cougars." And again, it's just a complete dominating performance by U of H in this victory. We look at the numbers offensively for Houston. Milos Uzan had a very, very strong shooting performance. And he took 9 shots, and all 9 were from behind the three-point line. Finished 5 for 9 shooting, 17 points, went 2 for 2 on the pair of free throws that he had in this game. 2 rebounds, 2 assists in 30 minutes. Good to see him finding a stroke and shooting it well for U of H. Emmanuel Sharp not too far behind him. He had 13 points on 5 of 13 shooting. He had 4 rebounds and 3 assists to go along. Kingston Flemings, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists for U of H in this game. Chris Anak, 7 points, 10 rebounds, so he gets double figures in the rebounding category. JoJo Tugler once again gets into double figures with points, 10 points and 6 rebounds in this game. So just looking at the starting lineup, it looks like a very, very well top to bottom performance by really the starters from Houston and sprinkled down. You saw Isaiah Hardwell, he had 7 points in this game, and Chase McCarty had 5 points. Ramon Walker had 4 points. Mercy Miller came in and got a pair of baskets at the end of the game. Truly a stellar top to bottom performance, a true team effort for Houston in this game over West Virginia. Dayon, you're muted.
My bad. I said, yeah, tremendous, like you said. I said the guards really ignited Houston tonight, starting with Milo. So it's good to see him kind of getting out here shooting slump over the last couple of games. Although last game I feel like he played well just to make shots. Tonight he seemed to be in this groove and got into a good rhythm early.
I'm seeing some of the comments from our YouTube viewers, and what's up? Welcome, Mr. Big Texco, to this edition of Let's Rage Coogs. Yeah, Crabtree with the comment on the screen. He says, "Solid work tonight by the Houston Cougars. Houston is getting better and better. Love seeing the improvement. Let's keep it going and go Cougs." And specifically talking about that improvement, I want to start off with the defensive side of the ball, because that's something that we touched on in the earlier shows, and November, December, where at times it just looked like Houston wasn't really moving on a string. It doesn't look like they were
Mhm.
always necessarily on the same page when it came to either rotations. Maybe sometimes one player would over rotate, or maybe a rotation would be missed. And specifically talking about the past two games, even going back again to Cincinnati, right? Even when Houston couldn't buy a basket to start conference play, it was their defense that kept them in the game and didn't let the Bearcats, jump out to a double-digit lead on the road in that outing. And since then, it has only continued to get better and better. And tonight, that was the case. Like, they held West Virginia to just 5 points with about 5 minutes left in the first half until they finally hit a couple of shots, and they were able to get to a respectable 18 points. Well, I mean, not really respectable, but they were able to make it seem less worse than what it was to 5 points for much of the first half at halftime. But overall, for the game to hold this West Virginia team to 48, and really a lot of times the suffocating defense where even if it wasn't necessarily a turnover, they looked discombobulated at times. It looked like they were jittery with the ball. Even simple plays, or at least plays that you would expect to be simple, it looked like they were second guessing themselves. And that's all a testament to how well defensively Houston played and how they've turned up really the execution on that side of the ball the last couple of games.
And how much they pay attention to the scouting report and paying attention to attacking the weaknesses or trying to take away the strengths of the opponent's best player. Like they do a really good job of that. And defensively, like you said, they really have it on the string. The rotations are there. Even when it comes to the monster, the second rotation comes, they help the helper and be able to scramble really well. They're playing really unselfishly defensively, and they're not pointing to get to the man. They actually are there. So defensively, I think they're going to get better and better. And offensively, I think once a few key players like Isaiah start making shots consistently, he hasn't really had a game where he's was shot efficiently. I think he's getting more into a rhythm. But and also Chase McCartney. I think those two guys, the minutes they come, they're gonna sooner or later they're gonna have to start knocking down some shots, in which I have confidence that they will. But defensively, it was just stifling. I mean, it started with Emmanuel. It's a point of attack. The way he was able to guard the ball, I could tell that he was really locked in and making it tough for that first line of defense on that initial attack.
Absolutely, and just looking at the final stats from the West Virginia perspective, but their leading scorer, I mean, like you mentioned, they do a good job at really executing the scouting report and taking away a lot of the other team's best player. But today, the best at least scorer on the floor for West Virginia was DJ Thomas. Had a solid game, 16 points, 6 of 8 from the field, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. But one of the players that really coming into this game was circled on various scouting reports, was Honor Huff, I should say, who has been a phenomenal addition to West Virginia, and he still got a respectable 13 points, but Houston held him 4 for 11 shooting from the field in this game, just 2 of 9 on threes, and really, I mean, got him in foul trouble
Made it tough
throughout
on
the
him.
game. So every time, again, the main thing like you just alluded to, Dayon, right? Anytime one of the other teams has a really good offensive score or offensive threat, it seems more often than not all the time, but it seems like more often than not, Houston does a good job of being able to shut them down and forcing the opponents to have someone else step up or multiple people have to step up to be able to defeat Houston.
Yep. Yep. Way, I mean, like you said, it seems like more than often than not, sometimes like national championship, the second half, the best player kind of gets off.
Hmm.
But more than not, they always be able to really make it tough or stop the opposing team's best player. I think that's what they did tonight. I thought he had 13 points. It wasn't efficient, and so it took him a lot of shots to do it. And so defensively, also I think the bigs. I think during the availability, someone asked him about the chemistry between JoJo and Kris playing together on the back end. And he kind of talked about how JoJo missed a lot of time together, but you can tell, to me, it seems they're in unison on the back end as well. because Kris cleans up a lot of boards while JoJo tries to attack and contest a lot of shots, especially whenever he's close to around the rim.
Well, and talking about Chris Sinak, who, like I mentioned at the top of the show, once again gets double-digit rebounding numbers, but he had 7 points on the first half. I might add, only shot five times from the field, was 0 for 2 in the second half. But that was one instance. Now, granted, this is going back to your point from last episode, from the last game. When Houston beat Baylor on Saturday, that you'd like to see Chris and Nat get more shots. Now, granted, on a night
Push on
like
the
tonight,
fence. Yep.
where let's just be honest, this is a guard heavy team, which when it comes to their top scorers in Kingston, Milos, and Emmanuel Sharp. But I think the thing about Chris and Nat, to go with your point, which I agree, I think if he was just get a handful more shots, to go from the 5 shots that he had tonight to try to see if you can get him a handful more shots, whether it be 8 or 10. I think that's something with Houston's, they go with the flow tonight. It was Manos Uzan, and he deserved to take he only took 9 shots, but he was efficient with them. When going back to Chris and to my point before I go on a tangent, the thing I like about him offensively, and this is a testament to a lot of those guards, that they do a good job running the offense, initiating and executing. But whenever Chris Nat gets a shot, he's very efficient. And, I find myself more often than not, every time he takes a shot, which is a testament to his basketball IQ, because it's the right shot. He's open. He had a 3 in the corner earlier in the first half where it was in rhythm. He shot, and it just looked nice. It looked like he was locked and loaded, ready to go, and he switched it, and that's just a testament of just a small sample size of kind of his skill that kind of gets his
Mhm.
offensive prowess, should say, it kind of gets lost a little bit in this guard heavy offense for Houston.
It definitely does. It definitely does. And like you said, he just makes the right play and takes the shot and allows the offense to come to him. I think I was thinking that as I was as you were talking, I think it's just gonna be a time where I'm sure they're working on it in practice, and he's continuing to work on his game in practice. But it's gonna be plenty of times where they actually initiate offense through him, because I think he's that type of player where you can initiate your offense through him, throw it down to him, and either let him look to score or look to draw two and make the right play out of that. And especially pick and pop. I mean, he's money. He can catch and shoot from the 3. He's a 3-level scorer, through and through. Shoot from the 3, mid range. But I like his face up game. He isolates, and his ability to be able to create for himself. And so I think he definitely should get more touches. I think he easily would average a double double. I mean, he's on the rebound, and tonight he had 7 points on 5 shots. I mean, he shoot 3 more shots. The way he scores so effortlessly and correctly, as far as within the rhythm of basketball, not trying to force anything. I think he certainly probably would have had at least 11 or 13 points, 10
Whenever
to 11.
he probably wishes he would get back tonight, was those uh, free throws, a pair of free throws that he missed in the second half. Actually, not in the second half, it's at the end of the first half, right before halftime. But I agree 100%, which is such a luxury for Houston to have in such a weapon that Chris Nett is potentially on offense. And more often than not, I mean, Houston put up 77 points tonight against West Virginia. It's just such a luxury to have, and there's a reason why Houston had, dominated the last handful of games, but their record is what it is, which is 16-1, and they're undefeated to start conference play here early. Now 4-0 in Big 12 play for the Houston Cougars. Real quickly, I'd like to take this moment to pause for a second and just thank, first and foremost, everybody that's taking their time out of their Tuesday night to join us live, whether it be on YouTube, via the Pod Slam Jamma YouTube channel, the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, Facebook on Chris's platforms, Houston Roundball Review Facebook, his personal Facebook account. We have a Twitch account, so if you're joining us from Twitch, leave a comment to welcome. And obviously, of course, on our X platform. For those of you just joining us, Kris is at the Fertitta Center, so he will be joining us shortly. And we are about to get Fluff on here in a second. But before we do, we also like to thank our sponsors on this edition of Let's Rage Coogs, and that is starting with the primary sponsor, Steve Saxenian. This is Let's Rage Coogs presented by the Saxenian Family. Big thank you to him for being a primary sponsor, not only on tonight's edition of Let's Rage Coogs, but all season long. And of course, big thank you to today's secondary sponsor in Star Pizza with multiple locations throughout the Houston area. Star Pizza is your go-to stop before or after the game. With that being said, let's see here. Let's bring in Fluff. Fluff, how you doing, sir, on this Tuesday night?
Fluff, what's up with it?
Man, I'm doing well. Was at a high school game tonight, and ran a little double overtime game in Connecticut. But everything is good. Want to say what's up to everybody. I know it's Let's Rage Cools over everything. And I know I missed a couple games, but we back like we never left.
Yes, sir. Back like we never left. Like that. Those are low key bars right there, Fluff. Let's talk about this game.
Everything is straight off the dome, nothing written. Chilling in the kitchen, hitting threes like Mitch Richmond. You know.
Okay, I see you. I see
Hey
you.
D, he wasn't
Yeah.
ready for that one.
Yeah.
Look, I'm impressed, Fluff. Speaking of impressive, what did you think of this performance by Houston against West Virginia that we talked about off air and through messages and going back to our last show? This was a West Virginia team that, listen, tonight Houston made them look, they made them look bad. This has been a Mountaineers team that's gotten some good wins, including this past weekend where they beat Kansas. We saw, like I said earlier at the top of the show, what Kansas turned around and did to the number 2 ranked team in the country heading into tonight in Iowa State, and Houston just flat out dominated them tonight at the Fertitta Center.
Well, I think that we're really starting to hit our stride and understand who we are as a team. I think we're really starting to hit our stride and understand where our strengths and our weaknesses are. And I think we're protecting our weaknesses and exploiting our strengths more. So I think that we can make a lot, no disrespect to West Virginia. I think we can make a lot of teams look like that moving on here right now and in conference play. But I don't think it's anything against West Virginia. We're hungry right now. And anybody that, we playing who's in front of us, and we're trying to dominate who's in front of us every game. And I think that's just that mindset that is starting to, hit its stride as far as the team.
Fluff, this comment right here is for you. Yeah, Crabtree says, y'all, use is back and then look much more comfortable tonight on offense. What you think about what you saw from Milo's Uzan and really how well and kind of to Crabtree's comment right there, how comfortable he looked offensively tonight in this game.
He looked great. We talked about, earlier in the season is that, he's gonna be the key on how consistent he is, whether he's facilitating or scoring. So when he's had 10 assists game, he's had, great games on both sides of facilitating and scoring. But if he can put that ball in the basket like he did tonight with some facilitating, I think that he puts us even in a better position moving forward in conference play and beyond.
Yeah, because it opens up the floor for us a little bit more, allow us to play a little bit more space, especially when he making shots, when Kingston is on ball even more. And so he need It was good to see him because the last two games he didn't shoot well. I think the last game he played well, just didn't shoot it well, and did a lot more for facilitating. But like Fluff just said, when he can put it together and be consistent with it, that unlocks the offense a little bit more. But before you jumped on Fluff, we was talking about Kris needs to get more touches. It needs to be. He had what? He had 7 points on 5 shots to go with 10 boards. Hey,
I'll say this. That's me and former Cougars have spoken about that. And I think they're trying to figure that out and trying to do that in a way that's not, yo, let's get him the ball, more in the flow of the offense evolving. So that's it's definitely true, dude. He definitely needs that basketball a little more. Maybe a lot more, but he needs it. He needs
Yeah,
to establish that presence down there.
yeah.
Talking about a player that does have the ball a lot in his hands, although he was limited a little bit in playing time today in terms of the foul trouble that he was in, had 4 fouls. But Kingston Fleming still got into double figures, scoring 10 points, had 7 assists again. And his rebound numbers, Fluff Dayon, he's trying to consistently get uh, pretty strong rebounding numbers. He had 5 tonight against West Virginia and only 1 turnover. I mean, it sounds like at this point we're a broken record every single game. But again, not to forget, he's a freshman and he's making it seem he's going out there, he's playing like a vet because he's Mr. Consistency right now, night in and night out. He's we're kind of growing accustomed to that stat line where he's going to have somewhere between 5 to 8 assists. And I'm shocked whenever he has more than a turnover. And tonight, that's exactly what he had. He had 1 turnover, and you kind of get spoiled a little bit, but we got to take time to, again, recognize how phenomenal and how rare it is from a freshman guard, a point guard, that he's just doing this on a regular basis, night in and night out.
Well,
Special.
you see, I just pause when I talk about him, man. I mean, the kid. I'm trying not to talk out of turn, not out of turn, but I'm trying not to, you know. Is he the best freshman in University of Houston history?
If he wins the
I'm
national
asking a
champ, no,
question.
no, but listen to this. Listen to this. If he wins the national championship, he's gonna have the best resume for any of the freshmen that's ever came through Houston. It can be in the argument that he's the best ever. If he wins the natty, because
He
you got
got to
to
win it.
think. No,
I'm asking him. He has to win the national
no,
championship to
I'm
be
not saying
that.
he has to. I'm not saying he has to. I'm just saying if he
Okay.
does, it's gonna be solidified, like no question. And I think you can have the conversations now because with that, I'm thinking of the awards that he's also going to accumulate with the All American and et cetera, et cetera. So I agree with you. Well,
Because he's
I'm
looking
saying
like
that.
an AP second team, first or second team All American.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just right now. I'm just thinking of freshmen that have come through that were wicked, and I'm just because they said Akeem struggled a little bit in the beginning. Um,
What about Elvin Hayes? How did we'd have to go back and see how he did his first year with Houston.
and I'm agreeing with you. For us to be talking like that, to go like for us to be going back, like thinking to go back that far from where we are right here in the 20s, late 20s, over mid 20s, we in 2026.
Yes.
And Andy, for the first name for you to say is, Elton Hayes. I think that shows where he's at. He's definitely top 5 DOA.
No question.
I'm
No
just so
question.
happy for that kid. Like I just know what that looks like as far as the sacrifices that has winning him to becoming as good. D-Rich TV was talking about how I guess he was on the internet young and working out and you know playing AAU and like this just always been a dream of his to be dominating at this level and for him to be doing it. Of course, I'm happy for the Cougs, but I'm super happy for him and his family, and I just wish him even more success.
Fluff, can you also talk a little bit about how difficult? Because again, like he's trying to make it to a point where and it's hard to say this, but he's trying to make it seem where like that's what we expect from Kingston, right? Because he just does it so consistently. But for any guard, much less, much more a freshman guard, to go out there, have the ball in his hands as often as he does, and initiate the offense, as a playmaker, and run a lot of the offense, and to really have one turnover, I think max two turnovers a majority of the time or less. How difficult is that for any guard, specifically him as a freshman guard, to do it at this level?
It's very difficult because no matter what age you are or grade you are or class you are, you know, understanding where your sweet spots on the floor is and keeping that basketball in your hand is the time. We talk a lot of times about points, assists, rebounds, and of course that's important. But you got to realize when your turnover ratio is low, that means that you're going to areas on the floor and you're not losing a ball. So that means that you're probably comfortable with most of the areas on the floor. And if you're not, you're learning how to cope with where your weak spots are, and that's a talent. So that's what's impressive, and how there's no real answer, Andy, on how. I think that's a knack for protecting the basketball. Like when John Stockton played the game, I don't think you can teach John Stockton to be John Stockton mentally with keeping the basketball in his hands and protecting that basketball. I think that's a knack that you have for that point guard position. I think Kingston has that.
How difficult is the transition from high school to college on the average? It just varies from player to player.
It varies from player to player, but
What about for
it can
you?
look so crazy either way. That's why picking the right school is so essential. So you could really all the way be ready to look like Kingston and pick the wrong school and be sitting on the bench. So we wouldn't know if he was ready or not. They thought we went there 7 minutes, 8 minutes, just looking crazy, making a couple of mistakes. Now it's like, yo, he's not ready for this level. And you might have picked the wrong school, or you might really just not be ready. So either
Right.
one. So they, like you said, it depends on the player.
Kingston basketball IQ definitely sticks out, especially the decision he makes in the transition.
Um, his body control through traffic is amazing.
Yeah.
Like if he gets it still under, like it's a defender right there, he's, he keeps his balance very, very intact.
I think in many ways it can kind of be a little sneaky sometimes. I think he's also very what's the word I'm looking for? And not elusive or crafty, but he's got finesse, right? When he drives, he's got some finesse to him. And then sometimes out of nowhere, he's just gonna, he shows off his athleticism. He'll jump off. He'll have an impressive either block, or sometimes like he'll get up there and throw it down, and it kind of catches you off guard at times. Which I think again that just reemphasizes how much of a special talent he is.
Yo, I mean, I was going looking at some highlights. Filet does Filet does the highlights. When, you know, with the little sound effects. So ain't nothing down there. You know, you know the little highlights of him, and I downplayed mentally. Like we talk about his IQ, I think I downplayed his athleticism. It's through the charts. His athleticism is not talked about enough. His athleticism is through the charts.
I think
His,
that's why. I think that's why they mentioned the Derrick Rose comparison because of that athleticism
you
and
know,
and,
the,
and, and that speed and like you're saying, the body control while being as explosive and athletic.
nobody messing with Derrick Rose, man.
Right.
Hey
Nah, facts.
yo, hey yo.
I'm just saying that's why people kind
Hey,
of see
listen. I know we
flashes.
on the show, and I know we got to be politically correct, and I love my Cougars, but I tell y'all all the time, I had the ball at the top of the key at the FedEx Arena in Memphis, Tennessee. I I go. He's in front of me, D. Andy, Kris, what's up, brother? And we throw the ball to the wing. I throw the ball to the wing. When I throw the ball to the wing, he's in front of me. When I throw the ball to the wing, he jumps from me and gets the pass. When he gets the pass, he takes two dribbles. He takes two dribbles and he rocks the cradle. Boom. I said, that's the number one pick right there. That's hey, 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 Andy. Hey, listen, I was hating at first when he first came to the conference. I'm like, man, they keep saying he's number one pick, man. What? He ain't better than me. When he did that, I said, we have to rethink this thing.
That's a
That's
perfect note.
real talks. So Kingston, I love you. Kingston, I listen to me. I love you, but I ain't seen a freshman like Derrick Rose. But Kingston, right there, he's right there.
Perfect. Perfect
Oh! I
note
want to say
there,
this, Andy.
Chris. Go ahead, Fluff.
3-point. This is where he might have him, though, D. The
Yeah.
3-point shooting and the free throw line. Give me 3, 4 more games. Kingston got him. He got to Kingston. Give me about 4 more games. Kingston might have him because I'm forgetting
Yeah.
about that 3-point line. Dang, dude. I'm forgetting about that 3-point line.
Yeah.
We got some time. We got some time to see where we at.
Kris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review joining us from inside of the Fertitta Center. First and foremost, Kris, how you doing on this Tuesday night?
I'm doing very well, fellas. How y'all doing? Fluff, brother, how you doing, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you guys. Good to be back.
No worries at all, man. But uh, impressive win overall. Coach, West Virginia's head coach Russ Hodge was really complimentary of the Cougs, and one thing I think Coach Sampson touched on it as well. But as fans, we're not fans. People kind of take for granted of what Houston has accomplished. You know, Coach Hodge said what they do, they're consistent. What they have done as a program, they are consistent. You know, they do the rotations, the attention to detail. It's on point, game in, game out. They do this all the time. And Coach Hodge is very complimentary of Houston and the program, the job Coach Sampson, the players have done, are doing, continue to do. This is why they're one of the top programs in the country, man. They do wear you out. They do grind on you. And they 2 games in a row, man, they had a 23-3 run. 2 games in a row, a 23-3 run. That's hard to do, man. Okay. 23-3 run. And they're getting better. Defensively, they're getting better. They continue to get better. The rotations are getting tighter. Defensively, the communication is getting better. It's January, midway January, then looking at February, and then Fluff and Dayon, Andy, and everybody watching. Let's Rage Coogs. the goal is to finish the season with those 6 straight wins. And me and Fluff and Andy and Dayon gonna be somewhere making a celebration video, jumping around, high fiving people, and celebrating
Hey,
with a
hey,
drink.
Chris, I can see it. I want it to happen.
I
We all
see
want
it
it to happen.
too.
Yeah, I
Well,
see.
Chris, we got to put you on the hot spot.
Yes,
Is
sir.
Kingston Fleming one of the best freshmen to come through Houston? Who's
Guard
better?
player who's better.
Is he? Where is he? Is he in the? Where is he at?
We talking Cougars or freshmen
Fresh
playing in the city or what?
freshman Cougars.
Oh, let's see. I mean, freshman Cougars with Coach Sampson. That's that's
No, we
kind of
saying period, Chris. We
no, no, no,
saying
no, I'm
period.
Yeah.
thinking Coach Sampson, the players. That's kind of he's up there for sure under that because it's not a long list. I didn't see Rob Williams play as a freshman, so you know
Ooh.
Rob Williams was a hell of a player.
Ooh.
And I mean,
Hey, Chris, hold on. Hey, fans, let's raise Coogs. We might be on here for a while, a little bit. He said Rob Williams. Woo. That was a bad boy, and I ain't even see him. So you know he a
yeah,
bad boy if he bad
Rob
and you ain't
Williams, one of
seen him.
he was probably the first player I know who went by his first name on the back of his jersey. It said Rob.
What you say, Chris?
It didn't say Williams. It said Rob.
For real?
His
On the
jersey
back
said
of his jersey.
on the back of his jersey,
Hey,
Rob.
Well, y'all know
that's
how we do. Y'all know how we do now. Hey, D, you know how the
hey,
Robs do with that red on now.
I mean,
Okay?
yeah,
hey,
Hey, it is what it
Rob.
is.
that's
He
live right
was a hell
there.
of a
But
player.
Rob McKiver can't mess with no Rob Williams, okay?
No, no,
Nah, nah.
and yeah,
That's one thing I love about the Cougs and the history we got. We all having a powwow is guys that get their respect on another level. That's a bad man. And Otis Birdsong.
oh yeah, most definitely.
Otis did go back and look at the film. Andy, go back, look at the film. Otis Birdsong.
Otis was 70s, Rob was early 80s. So yeah,
Some bad boys.
yeah, earlier, So yeah,
But we saying we're not because the thing about it, Chris, what we're asking you because you're the vet, you're the biggest brother out here because you've been around the Cougs the longest. What
I'm
we're
old. So go ahead
asking
and
you,
say it, Fluff.
brother,
I'm the
is
oldest. Yeah, I'm
no, I
old.
didn't say the oldest. I didn't say what you
That's
know
true
what I
though.
mean.
But yeah, it's true.
Um, who is the best? Not the best player, because see,
Oh
Kingston
yeah,
came for
that's what I'm saying.
five
Rob
minutes
as a
and he
freshman, I'm not
leaving.
sure because
So we saying the
freshman
best
didn't play.
freshman.
I'm not sure. I have to look at the numbers. If Rob played as freshman, I'm gonna say Rob Williams. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I
Yeah,
got you. Okay.
because
So you saying
yeah,
Rob didn't waste no time when he got in? It was
but
let's go.
'cause the early '80s toward the end there, what the mid '80s, freshmen didn't play varsity. So that's why I'm not sure about it. I just know when I started watching Five Slamma Jamma and Rob and those dudes, Rob Williams already Rob. Okay, he was already Rob, and so I'd have to ask my people. It's sure the older alums on here who watching the show, but I know this after the fact. One time I asked Coach Lewis, who was one of the best players come out of the city, he said Rob Williams. I know that. Yeah.
Rob Williams, a Houston boy too.
Yes. Milby High School.
Wow. Okay.
So and that's talking to Coach Guy V. Lewis. So yeah, he knows thing or two about basketball.
Right. Of course. God bless Coach Lewis. Amazing man. But you go Rob Williams and then
I mean, yeah, 'cause I'm sure. I don't know if I'm forgetting freshmen because it's not a long list of
that's
freshmen
that's that's
who played.
that's what
Yeah,
we're saying.
had
Not
an impact.
even
So yeah,
just under Sampson.
Kingston's up there
That's
because
not a long
Jarris.
list of guys with big success as a freshman.
Yeah, Jarris wasn't that dude as a freshman. He won weekly awards, but he didn't put up numbers like Kingston did. So yeah,
Wait, so
Did y'all have somebody else besides Kingston?
Chris, Elvin Hayes didn't play as a freshman then?
60s, I don't think so.
Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Elvin Hayes. Ooh.
But let's think about the names we're tossing out there for Kingston.
That's what before you got on, that's what I was saying. Like,
Yeah,
if we gotta do if we have to go like this kid is amazing.
right.
If we have to go dig in the archives like this kid is unbelievable.
Because Michael Young could be up there. Because Clyde
Yeah.
really didn't become Clyde until maybe sophomore and junior year. Dream was nothing like he was until it really junior year in the NBA. No one saw Hakeem as a Cougar and thought he'd be like he did in the pros. Nobody saw that. But that summer in finally working with Moses Malone, that was the stuff of legends, and he just became the man he became in the pros.
It's so crazy about the University of Houston because, I tell people close to me all the time, I never forget. I was watching 1994. I was 10 years old. New York is close to Connecticut. And I was watching the finals of the New York Knicks and Houston Rockets. And the whole time, so you think about it, everybody on this side is going to like who the Knicks
Mm-hmm.
and Pat Ewing. But I've always been a fan and a nerd of the game. So I'm watching and I'm like, Elijah better than him. You know what I'm saying?
And you are correct.
And this way before I became a Cougar, so nobody can say, "Oh, he's biased because you're a Cougar." I mean, I watched him for 7 games. First of all, I watched the series before that against San Antonio, and I never seen it. I never seen a big that skilled in my life. After that,
Yeah,
it's just my opinion. So that's amazing how kids can go from looking like something right here and then becoming like you piggybacking on what you're saying, Chris, then becoming something so extraordinary that nobody's seen coming. And I think that's the beauty of sports and working hard, what a
most
summer,
definitely.
2 years could do.
Because Akeem as a Coug dunked and blocked shots. That's pretty much what he did as a Coug. Dunked the ball and swatted stuff. Anything came in the lane it was going back. That's pretty much his offense right there. And
Wow.
then he just grew into everything else. But yeah, Michael Young, Mike Young up there too. I don't have a problem saying
Like,
that. Michael Young.
I'm telling you.
But this folks who are watching, the names we're tossing out there for Kingston Flemings. That goes to show what we're doing here, people. So yeah.
Andy over there, like, I just asked you one question. You know how we do though, Andy, man. One question is 11 minutes, man.
But and he
Those are
didn't.
the best answers.
He got in
Or the
foul
best
trouble, and he didn't have an impact in the first half. And then Milos got it going. Just different guys stepping up each game. JoJo is getting better. Kris is getting better defensively.
10
And
rebounds.
could y'all hear the comment that Coach said about JoJo?
No. What do you
Did
say?
he finish with 7 rebounds or 8 rebounds?
JoJo?
Yeah.
Finished with
6 rebounds.
What is this? Yeah.
6 rebounds.
But
Although, what you said, previous shows, Fluff, he's done a much better job getting into that. I mean, he's had double digit rebounds in the last handful of games, so his
Mhm.
rebounding's up there. And most importantly, it seems like he's finally been able to stay out of foul trouble on a consistent basis, which has been key for him too.
But yeah, Coach said that what we've said last 8 or 9 years, first play of the game, he's going down to the post, and that's JoJo. But Coach, he also said he does not want JoJo to get 10, 15, 20 touches like that. That's not how this offense is built. Now, when he had Josh Carlton, a low post presence, low post threat, he went to Josh Carlton. And next year, I think he's going to do that with Erfan Dion. But
Chris, you high on
fellas,
him. You like him.
fellas,
You
Coach
saying it.
also said he loves for people to double team JoJo because JoJo's a good passer. And I was like, whoa,
Hey, Chris, you love that big fella that's coming in. You,
7'1", 290.
huh?
7'1", 290.
You like, what's not the love?
And he talks. He's a communicator. You know, where he's supposed to be in the wrong spot. And he has a little flair to his game, too, you know. When he does something other team can't stop, yeah, folks gonna like him. Nice. It's on him to work. He's got to come in here and work. That one of his questions in high school was if he gets going, if his motor is consistent. Not a choice here with the Cougars.
That was dope. That
Not
was
a choice.
dope.
So yeah, so he plays
When you go into
consistently hard.
practice,
Yeah,
and I say this to you young fellas out there on your recruitment trail, just understand this. I don't think kids understand this. You always want to be seen by NBA scouts, but when you can be seen by them in practice, your stock rises even higher or lower because they're watching what your habits are besides the game.
exactly.
See, the game is the candy, is the icing on the cake. But I know from even my own experiences, they come to that practice and see what's going on with you. But where University of Houston is now, man, you're gonna have 12 to 15 scouts at practice all the time.
For sure. That is
So
that is a
that's
fact.
when you're going on your recruitment trail, understand, start evaluating how many scouts are going to be at practice. They come into the game because
Yeah.
there's so many players um, on both sides of the matchup. But
Good teams will draft players based on how you do in practice.
it's, it's real talk.
Okay. Let me say it again. Good teams will draft you on how you do in practice. I've seen it. I've
Because
seen
you
it.
think about it,
Mm.
right, Chris? If you're playing like we played West Virginia tonight, so if Emmanuel Sharp puts on a red jersey and Kingston Fleming has on a white jersey, isn't Kingston Fleming playing against a better player than maybe a couple of the guards on West Virginia? It's
Yeah.
like it's that simple.
Yep.
So when scouts come, they go, "Oh wow, he's really supposed to be out there on the floor on the number 17. I mean, on the number seventh team in the country. Wow, he's supposed to be out there. Wow, he's elite." So
So Baylor won. I saw someone posted.
Yeah. Let me put the scores around the Big 12.
They
So
spanked
Baylor
Oklahoma
beat
State. Mm.
Oklahoma State 94-79, and then the surprise of the day or the night, Kansas 84, Iowa State 63. That was at Allen Fieldhouse.
The surprise of that is the margin of victory. I'm not surprised Kansas won because they were desperate. They needed to win, and their pride was being challenged by everybody in the
Darn,
locker room. Some media, they were questioning their intestinal fortitude, and well, I can say it on here on the show. They're questioning the players, some of the players' nuts. How you gonna represent Kansas with or you just gonna go through the motions and all this kind of stuff? So and it was a home game too.
mhm.
yeah,
So
you
that
know,
all adds up to it. So it's life in the Big 12 on the road, especially.
Darren Peterson for Kansas, 27 minutes, 16 points, 6 of 15 shooting,
did he come back?
5
So yeah,
rebounds.
so he didn't shoot well. They still won by 21 points.
So he came back after the little injury.
Yeah, because he played 27 minutes.
Okay. No, I had seen that come across the screen that he had went up and he came down. Well, I didn't
Yeah,
know if
he
he
he went
went
back in.
back.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, that's good.
Yep. So the number 2 team in the country lost by 21 points in Allen Fieldhouse. Life in the Big 12.
Like the Big 12.
And so the team that beat Kansas on Saturday came here and lost on the road by 29. And the Kansas went home and beat the number 2 team in the country by 21.
I think the Big 12 is big on. I think the Big 12 is big on strategy from game to game. That's what it's seeming like. Like, who has
Strategy,
the better game plan?
matchups.
Not saying it means you're definitely going to win, but like, I think understanding. I think Coach Sampson and the staff understands every matchup to a T.
Yeah, and tonight, well, the game plan had to be make life difficult for Honor Huff. He was
Yeah.
coming off Player of the Week honors, and Emmanuel Sharp, Isaiah Harwell, they made life tough for him. You know, he got very rarely did he have a good open look, open shot, contested everything, and he did not shoot the ball well. So Houston, as Dayon has said, many shows on Let's Rage Coogs, Coach Sampson and the staff, they game plan to take away the number one option for the other team and make somebody else beat them. So very rarely, I remember Dayon saying this, if you're the number one option against the Cougs and you got the skill set and one-on-one skills and you can beat Houston with 25, 30 points, that's rare. You are a special talent. That's rare to do that against the Cougs. We could probably count on maybe one hand the guys who've done that against Houston one-on-one.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. Yeah, I mean, that's right on cue. I think that's just a straight fact.
Chris, what were some of the other things that Kelvin Sampson or from the West Virginia side that was said post game?
Coach Sampson, the last question I got a chance to ask him was if he had seen improvement in Chris Senek's defense. He said yes, and then he went on and talked about all the freshmen have been gotten better. Isaiah's gotten better, Chris has gotten better, King's getting better, Chase is getting better. Remember, Chase is a freshman; he's a redshirt freshman. They've gotten better defensively, so that's the reason why the team is getting better defensively. It's all part of the development. Month to month, they're better now than they were in December. Coach said it. We weren't as good in December as we are now. And playing the freshmen early on, you could see that they were freshmen. And you see that they were not used to playing Houston Cougar defense in the way that he wants things done. So it's learning on the fly. And they are getting better. And what are they, fellas? 16-1?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. 16-1. They're now 4-0 in conference play to start against Big 12 opponents.
And one thing that I think, Andy, you said it as well. West Virginia win Saturday over Kansas was the worst thing that happened for them coming here. Because staff, and I'm sure even the players, they beat Kansas? Oh, yeah, we're going to be locked in for them. So
Locked in.
locked in. And they were. 28-5. 5 points for, 15 minutes? Five. It wasn't worse because the Cougs were not knocking down their open shots. So, man.
ECA.
Yes, sir. Fellas had an idea, for the conference. I'm surprised the conference hasn't done this. Brett Yormark with the Big 12 is the second best league in America behind the NBA. That should be a shirt.
Yeah.
And handed out to every Big 12 school in their school colors. Big 12, second best league in America behind the NBA. And then you can say on the back, a different league. That should be every Big 12 school should have that. Have that as your warm-up shirt, your shoot-around shirt, whatever.
That's a great marketing idea.
Who's our close second? SEC?
Conference? This
Like
year, Big
conference, 10. Top to bottom.
This year, Big 10.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I'm just saying overall.
The SEC's last year was special. But that was kind of out of the blue. They were football, for so long. But last year was special. Big 10 is up there, but they have won a championship in 25 years.
Yeah. Dang. Hey, hopefully this year we have all Big 12 Final Four with Houston coming out on top.
That's it.
We
Versus
got
me.
4 teams in the Final Four. And the Final Four, we winning that national championship for sure. Not saying we not. It's not like that. But if you put us with 4 teams and from our neighborhood, I'm betting the house on that.
I mean, I could see a Houston Arizona championship game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that. And of course, I'm
Yeah,
picking the Cougs to win, win it all.
yeah, I can't wait to see that Kingston Bradley matchup.
Yes.
That's
February
gonna be interesting.
21st. We're getting close.
Yeah.
Yep. ABC. Andy, have you acknowledged your road trip?
Not yet. We also have a comment for Fluff. Fluff, Hooper
Yes.
Holler, Houston. They asked, how did you get your nickname Fluff?
How did I get my nickname Fluff?
Yeah.
A lady by the name of Miss Vivian from New Haven, Connecticut, came into my grandmother's house, seen I have fluffy cheeks, and she started calling me Fluff a Nutter. And
How old were you?
my name is Fluff a Nutter. I was in school. I started having some issues. I cut it short. Like, yo, listen, man, just call me Fluff, all right? That's it. The Fluff a Nutter's over with.
But how old were you?
When what that my name was Fluff a Nutter?
Yes, sir.
I'm still in my family. I'm that they still calling me Fluff a Nutter.
Really?
Yeah. I can't say nothing back to some of them.
Well, that's true.
But yeah, it's just my whole life, man. It just stuck with me. I tell you guys a story. Um, as far as my nickname, we were playing the University of Memphis my junior year at Hal Fines Pavilion, and Coach Penders he cussed me out bad for it, but he never apologized to me, but he ended up understanding. But Hubert Davis was the coach at the University of North Carolina right now. He used to be doing ESPN, and he
Hmm.
was doing the game. And when he came to do the game, he said, "Man, what's up, Rob? Rob McKiver having a great season. Um, how you feeling tonight? About the game. You guys are playing Memphis on ESPN. I know you're excited about that." I said, first, I'm young. I said, first of all, my name is Fluff. He was like, "What?" I was like, "Don't call me Robert. Call me Fluff. Like that's my name.
Did he
Don't be
say it on
calling me
air?
Robert." And he was like, "Young fella, you better be good. You talking about somebody got to call you Fluff." And when the game ended up going, and I was doing my thing, he ended up saying on the commentary, "Well, whatever the guy name was, well, I guess we do got to call him Fluff tonight. He sure is scoring." So, that's just a nickname. It always just stuck with me from my city, New Haven, Connecticut. Um, I got that name. A lady, she's still living. She's 87 years old. Her name is Miss Vivian. She came to my grandmother's house and gave me that name, and I appreciate it. Appreciate her. We've been rolling with it. That's my son's name now. They don't call him Fluff and Nutter. I don't know. He didn't
He
get
didn't
that,
get that
but
part.
yeah, they didn't get that part. They just call him Little Fluff, and they don't even. He didn't get Fluff and Nutter, but that's his name too. If you want to know,
Well, the question, we can wrap it up with this. Who do we think would challenge UH in the league? Arizona,
Arizona.
Iowa State,
Yeah,
those two.
Arizona.
I'm not convinced by BYU yet defensively. I like them though.
AJ, listen. Let me tell you something. AJ not finna do all that on us. He a bad boy, but he ain't finna will and deal like that on us. I got him for 18 on 7 for 19 shooting.
Yeah, something like that.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's gonna be effective, but there's no way he's gonna be efficient.
I like that.
Yeah, it's about 7 for 19, maybe even 20.
I mean,
You
yeah, he
know, a
might.
struggle 20 points.
Yeah. I was gonna say he might get his 20, but might take 25 shots to get it. you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
8 for 23.
But yeah, Arizona, Houston just once. Iowa State, Houston just once. BYU, Houston,
Just
right?
one.
Just once.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's gonna be gotta win all three of them.
Yeah, we got
Can-
one all three of
even
those
Kansas,
guys.
even
Huh.
Kansas, Houston just once
Yep. Kansas just once. Only team out of the top teams is Texas Tech twice. That's it. There's
missed
Texas Tech
opportunity.
twice, Cincinnati twice, and Baylor twice.
That's from Coach talking about that travel.
Yep.
That Coach Sampson talking about that travel. They done switched it up a little bit.
Yeah, because Houston, I forgot this till it was reminded to me this before the game tonight. Houston, Iowa State is part of Big Monday, but the Cougs game before that Monday is a Saturday night game, 8 o'clock at home. So they got to go from here, leaving here, midnight or whatever, or maybe Sunday to go to Iowa for play Iowa State on Monday at 8 o'clock.
For Big Monday, yeah.
Who that is that Bilal behind you, Chris?
You see who that is right there? See that man right there?
Who's that? That's Coach?
What's up?
What's up, Coach?
How you doing, Big Fluff?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right.
Shoot, I was about to walk
I
out.
gotta call you in the morning.
Okay.
I
Okay,
I I,
he
I
said.
called you the other day. I'll call you back in the morning though.
Okay,
Okay, yeah, I received it, man. I appreciate you being persistent.
okay,
Okay.
so he said it's on the air now. He's gonna call you in the morning.
Yeah, no, he's been doing a good job. He's been persistent
All right.
on what he's trying to.
Coach, man, congratulations on the win tonight.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank
You
you. How are
already
y'all
know,
doing over
man.
here?
Say
We're
it
doing
again,
good. What
Coach.
up, Coach B? What up, Coach
Y'all
B?
doing good, huh?
We're doing great.
Yeah, not bad. Looking at the stat sheet, we're just trying to get better. We're trying to get better, and the good news is this team can get better, and it's all about habits. And you want to take those habits on the road. So we're trying to drive home with the to our team about how do you win in that. I hate to say this on air, but I'm gonna say how do you win a national championship? If we're title chasing, and you better try to hopefully get one of those one seats.
Yes. Yes. That'll do it, Coach.
But you don't have to title chase. But let's go focus on winning a Big 12 championship. That's how you control what you can control. And win your home games. Maybe you go 7 out of 9 on the road. We want to win them all, but it's all about habits. And it feels like we have 3 different groups that's slowly meshing into one group as the year goes on. Right? You have the 3 returning starters. You got the second group, which are returners that didn't play a lot previously in previous years, and now they're getting more minutes. Now they have bigger roles, and they're saying, "Oh crap, these roles that we desire come with responsibility." Yeah, what do you think J1 and LJ and the previous guys were doing? And Malik Wilson, what do you think they were doing? And then you have the 5 new players, the 3 freshmen that play, and then Khalifa Sacco. And as the years you going on, the team's going from 3 groups to slowly blurring into one group. And that's what the journey's about. So it's good to see, but you can't relax, So we're about to go home tonight, watch film, and notice, hey, what are they doing well? But are they making the same mistakes over and over again in small little areas? A new hole presents itself. You fix that hole, and then a new hole presents itself, and you keep on filling and filling and filling until you get to March Madness. Blessed to be part of Selection Sunday, and then you want to be the best version of yourself at the same time. I'm just going rambling right now. I was
Go ahead,
wondering.
Coach. We love it. We
I always
appreciate
wonder
you.
what it took to win a national championship. And you can't take that for granted and have an opportunity. Controllables versus uncontrollables. And what is uncontrollable is health. And let me know if you think of something else. But health, the whistle, and lucky bounces or unlucky bounces. The ball's got to bounce your way. And the controllables is yourself, right? Your team being the best version of yourself at the same time, and you never know whose night it's going to be. I thought the Jamal Shed senior year when he rolled his ankle, that was the uncontrollables took over. But last year, the uncontrollables favored us. We just didn't finish the race. With that being said, we're so proud of our guys. We're not blaming anybody. Man, we got to the title game and we pushed the brand up higher and higher in this new modern era of Cougs basketball. And you know, there's a lot of work to be done, program building on the court, but also we want to build our fan base into a national brand. I want to go. I'm sure you guys too. I want to go up to Connecticut. I want to go up there and see you and go to the Foot Locker and see nothing but Cougs gear in there, or with North Carolina, with Michigan, with those kind of with Duke.
That's a
Yep.
good point, Coach. I was
I want to go.
actually
I
in the
want
Very
to go to
true.
store.
LA and see the same thing. But I think we're getting there. We're going to be, represent ourselves in March Madness. We're going to represent ourselves in the NBA draft. We're going to represent ourselves in the NBA Summer League. Hopefully one day we'll represent ourselves in the NBA All-Star game. Hopefully one day we'll represent ourselves in the NBA Finals. And I think those great sports moments occur a national fan base and exciting players that we have on the court. Not just the younger guys, but also the older guys are exciting. As much as guys like fans like Kingston, they still like Milos. They still like Emmanuel Sharp. They like Chris Sinak. Hell, they like Malik, So
That's one of my favorite players, Coach.
yeah,
I had a whole segment on here about Malik, big time Cougar.
yes, for sure. But another thing is we're a true program, Fluff. You're part of it. We have 120 former players reconnected to the program from the 50s, from Mr. Bernie Kapner all the way to 2020s. That's big time. That's what big time programs do, and then we really appreciate this platform. It goes a long ways, to get Cougs information, discussion, exposure. Uh, I would rather do this than any other platform, to be honest with you. So I really appreciate you guys, the time, effort, energy. I mean, look, the game's over. You guys are giving real time intel, to our ever growing fan base. So we appreciate y'all. It takes. Here's the last thing I'm gonna say before I go. To win a national championship, and to God be the glory, we're going to do it. But to win it at this type of school, we're not in Lexington, Kentucky, or in Durham, North Carolina, like those college towns. In a city type environment, it's different. It takes a community of people to win a national championship. We're not arrogant. Coach Sampson will always say we're not arrogant enough to just think it's in just our basketball staff. It's a collection of people, and we're just appreciative you guys are part of our community, helping us move forward to our ultimate goal and having a parade in downtown Houston. So we really appreciate y'all. Didn't mean to go off on a rant, but go Cougs.
Go Cougs, baby.
Go Cougs. We appreciate you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach B.
That was organic.
I've known that man half his life. We go back a long, long way.
That's a good man right
Yes,
there.
sir. I've known Fluff a long time too. So
Yes.
I'm gonna get on my
Yeah.
pedestal for a moment, folks. I've been doing this a long ass time, people.
Hey,
Since
Chris, we respect you.
1994.
I had a conversation with D the other day. We'll talk off camera, but the respect for you is huge. You kind of, you're the big brother of this whole thing. When we see you, even tonight, we doing the show, but when you come in and you pop in, it's like, okay, all right, let's really get to it. And well, like what Coach is saying, I really appreciate him coming on there and saying that because to hear it from the people that we're talking about, it's big time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's big time, and knows that our deeds are being noticed as a group, and that's what's big, and how much we love the Cougs from
Mm-hmm.
being Cougars. Another thing that we need to touch on and understand too is former students. We're talking about Brandon and really pushing the brand of the University of Houston. What we have to realize is there are students who go to every home game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are students, even when I was playing, you know, I'll come by the Cullen Oaks apartments and be like, dang, see the stickers and see, you know, they go into the game. Every time I see them, they go into the game. So we need to salute our student fan base all times because they can easily go do something else. And what Coach B was touching on is to be in a big city where you have the Texans and you have the Rockets. A lot of times you're picking whether you're going
Astros.
to the Rocket game or the Cougar game. And it's just anything is it's a big, beautiful city.
Right.
A lot of things are going on that might not even be basketball. That's what Coach B was touching on. Like in Lexington, there's only the University of Kentucky, so you know where everybody's going when Kentucky is playing.
Right.
So what we're doing is amazing to, have the fan base that we have.
And I mean, the Houston Cougars, I'm probably forgetting somebody, but in terms of big city, this is a pro town. H-Town is a pro town. We know that. So it just makes it more impressive what the men's basketball team has accomplished, has built, has established. They have a firm grasp, but the fan base in Houston is still growing, and the respect nationally is still growing. So, I'd love to be, we go to for a road trip and be in the airport or be in some Foot Locker or apparel store and see Houston Cougar gear, in another state. So that's what I love seeing because, hey, I made a few trips, other cities. You're the guy that does the Let's Rage Coogs show, aren't you? Aren't you Houston Round Bar Review? I sure am. I don't know that person from anybody, but they know this show. They know the Houston Round Bar Review. They know the Houston Cougars. We're growing, people. Let's enjoy
Um,
this ride.
hey, I want to say this because we got to pump the less rage now. I just want to say this. Any other shows where the coach come on here, I just
Live.
want to know. Hey,
Live.
I just want to know: are there any other shows where a coach come pop in and say, "Man, let me talk to the people with y'all
And I'll just put this
around the
teaser.
country"? I'm not even talking
Yeah.
about. I ain't even talking about Houston shows. I'm saying podcasts around the world shows
We're
of
just getting
other
started, people.
schools. Coach pop in, Bill Self and assistants with they
We're
ain't
just we're
popping
just getting
in.
started. Trust me. All four of us got ideas. We're just getting started.
All right, just want to put that out there. And we got some new things coming for y'all
Yes,
soon.
sir. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's the perfect segue, Chris, to talk about some of those things that are coming. Is that road trip to Texas Tech, January 24th, Saturday, January 24th. Got the email back from the Texas Tech communications guys. So we will be there from Lubbock, post game coverage, interviewing uh, Kelvin Sampson, whatever players they make available on that January 24th. And big thank you to want to make sure I get this right. A supporter from UH's Bauer Business College, because, Chris, Fluff, Dayon, that we're talking about the University of Houston, have one of the best business schools in not just Texas, not just in Houston, but all of the country. Bauer, so big thank you for providing aid in that trip to Lubbock for Texas Tech. So that's the big news. So 11 days from now, when Houston has a rematch against the Red Raiders, we will have Let's Rage Coogs. We'll have live post game coverage from Lubbock. So that's
Cougs helping Cougs,
big
baby.
time. Yes, sir. Big thank you to a supporter from Bauer Business School at the University of Houston. Big time. And like Chris, you just
Yes,
said,
sir.
just getting started. And on top of that, what Coach Bilal said right there, I think is pretty big time too. Um, this ain't we're not just over here in the void. Like this is when we talk, right, people listen.
I like when you talk like
I like,
Andy.
yeah, Andy, go
Yo,
ahead.
hold on. Wait a minute. What?
Popping,
Yo,
Andy.
Andy, wait. Andy, yo, listen. Whoa. Andy, I like where that come from.
Hey,
Okay.
I
I
had to
like
match the
that,
bars from
Andy.
earlier in the
When we
show.
talk, people listen. That's right, Andy. That's right.
Got to match some bars from earlier in the show.
Be- because what? Les Rage Coogs is the what?
The original,
Original, man.
The original.
original
Yes,
Houston
sir.
postgame show. After each and every single football and men's basketball game.
Say it with your chest, Andy.
Say it with your chest. And so, yep, road trips, onward and upward. Folks, we're just getting started. I'm just gonna put it like that. We are just getting started. So, Andy, go and put it out there. If you want to, if you are able to and willing to contribute to the road trips, send that
Assistance. And
email.
let
Put
me
the
just
email on the screen.
reiterate, yeah, the email's right there on the screen again. There's no such thing as, too little. We're grateful for any type of support. And that's why we're on to double down and really reiterate that big thank you to the supporter from UH's Bauer Business College, for helping make the contribution to aid, because look, it might be in state in Texas, but Kris Gardner, that, even though it's in Lubbock, you still got to spend a good amount of cash to go up there to Lubbock. So big thank you to the supporter from UH's Business Bauer for his contribution. If you are interested, again, there are many more road games. Kris and I are trying to hopefully make it work going to the Big 12 postseason tournament, and then the NCAA tournament. The goal, right, when we have that first Monday in April for championship Monday, all four of us live from the court, be
Yeah.
on the court, following the
It's looking
Houston
like
Cougars.
we not gonna have that no problems this year. That's what
20,
it's looking like.
Excellent.
We
26
talk about that later.
Yes, sir.
national champions, all four of us on the court in Indianapolis, Lucas Oil Stadium. That's the goal. So reach out. Let me put it one more time on the screen. Let's Rage Coogs at gmail.com. The original Houston postgame show going back to 2022, because we ain't new on the block. It's 4 years that we've been doing this. And like
True to this, not new to this.
you heard it from Coach Bilal right there. We're not just speaking to the void. When we talk, people listen. I had to repeat it just for fluff, because that's tough. All right, Kris, it's on to you.
Excellent, brother. Excellent. Your idea is growing, is blossoming. It's about to take off here in 2026. Thank you guys for holding it down. Appreciate it. Cougs won 77-48 over West Virginia, over a good Mountaineers team. And we're going to do it again Sunday night. Game against Arizona State. It's a 5:30 Central Time tip-off on ESPN, I think, ESPN.
Yeah.
So join us for that game. And y'all know it. Fluff knows it. Andy knows it. D knows it. Y'all know it. Watching the show on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch and Twitter since 1994. The Houston Round Ball Review. Local name, global perspective.
You know, I'm really smiling, of course, from just being on here. I love it. But for Coach to get on here and show us some love, was huge tonight for us. I really, I know my brothers feel the same way. I really, that was, and it wasn't planned. It was organic. It was natural. It was real. It was love. It was cougarish. You know what I mean? Y'all like that one? Yo, look at
Cougars.
Chris. Y'all like that one? It was very cougarish. Okay. And we just getting started, man. This thing is gonna be legendary. Big shout out to the city. To the city. Big shout out to Cullen Boulevard. You know what I mean? Legendary place. The University of Houston. Shout out to Coach Sampson and the whole coaching staff for really bringing us to a whole nother level that we didn't see coming. It's so, Chris talks about it a lot too. It's so easy to get entitled and feel like we're supposed to do this and we're supposed to do that. But we've come so far and we still, still rolling and still growing as a program. But to be a part of that has been a blessing for me, and I'm sure my other three brothers on here. But you know what it is, Go Cougs. You can find us on Instagram, Rob McKiver, Elm City Elite. Look out for us on the sneaker circuit. We are coming with maybe some more uh uh Cougars that are playing a little Cougarish, out there. We'll be in Philadelphia, we'll be in Ohio. Everything is just going together. We're striving for greatness. But you know what it is, go Cougs. Cougs help Cougs, and we're gonna keep it Cougarish. Go Cougs. Yo, I just came up with that off the dome. That was just I just this is what I do.
Man, shout out Coach B, man. Like Coach B said, we trying to take it national. Don't look down, look around, because it's Cougs in town. And we're going to be here, we're going to be there, we're going to be everywhere. Texas Tech, we on the way. We know we coming. You know what I'm saying? So reach out to the email, want to partners with us. Let's do it, man. We growing. Go Cougs.